Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Rural 2IC, and we are kicking off our morning chats again. And the ones that I'm going to probably do is going to be a theme this week where we're going to talk about weather related events. And the first one that I want to talk about is going to be the wind. High winds. Now, we had a storm roll through Ohio, and it affected more than just Ohio, but um, just in my kind of area, the high winds basically put somewhere in a neighborhood of about 35 to 50,000 people without power. Now, we're not in a cold spell, which is very unusual. Um, right now I think it's like 48 degrees, and I think we're going to get a high of upper 50s today. So it's not anything that's going to be worried on a cold spell. But are you prepared for high winds? Now, we live right now in the day of technology and fast communication, and so we have the luxury of having people predict the weather and say, hey, this thing's coming. Uh, there's a chance for high winds, and then as things get closer, yeah, we're definitely going to get winds. It's probably going to be between this and all this other stuff, and we can kind of gather that information and process it and do various things. But what happens when that communication is down or the power grid is down and you are unable to get that information? What are you going to do? Wind can be very, very bad. Not only can wind do the typical things like roof damage, what are you going to do when an shtf event happens? We're talking worst case scenario, long-term event. What are you going to do when high winds come through and all of a sudden you have roof damage? Now, you have leaks, or maybe even, punctured a hole or something along those lines. Did you know that most people don't have a ladder? Think about that just for a minute. They can't even access the roof to even attempt to fix it. Not even just throw a tarp or piece of plastic or something. Uh, they don't even have that. But what do you have on a thing of repairs for a long-term SHTF situation? What do you have tool-wise? What do you have material-wise for repairs? What do you have skill and knowledge-wise to do repairs? What if high winds pick something up and busts a window? Then what? What are you going to do? How are you going to repair that? We got a picture from Rural's or Mrs. Rural, not me, Mrs. Rural's mom, that her outside table, if you will, it's one of those rectangular all glass tables. The wind was powerful enough that it flipped that over. Now, most of you that are familiar with what I'm talking about, those things are quite heavy. So the winds were that powerful that it basically was like, nope, you belong on the other side. So there's a lot into that on some of the objects that have been outside for years and years. You probably would think would be okay. They may not be. What are you going to do in high winds if a tree falls and blocks your driveway? You have the ability to move that tree. I'm going to say that probably most people don't have a chainsaw. Probably a lot of people don't have an axe. But do you have the ability and the knowledge and skill and everything to be able to solve that problem? How are you going to get that tree to move? There's a lot into high winds, and high winds can be a very, very dangerous thing. We just touched on a handful of things. One of the ones that a lot of people go through is they talk about tornadoes and they talk about floods and all the other stuff. But there's a lot of people that do not consider high winds, and we will always have wind. So just something to think about. We want to be able to make it to where you guys have just something to kind of mull around for today, and start thinking about that. But that's what I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.